Thank you, everyone, for your attendance today. I want to call this meeting to order, and it is 6:37. Let's have roll call.
Espi Ochoa, present.
Alex Cantu present.
Claudia Ochoa, present.
Nereida Cantu, present. Mary Hernandez, present.
Dr. Science, I declare a quorum.
Thank you, Mrs. Ochoa. We'll now do the Pledge of Allegiance. With everyone, please stand, and good evening, everyone. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item, approval of tax collector's report.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Cantu,
Second.
second by Mrs. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have superintendent's report.
Mrs. Ochoa, we have no items under Superintendent's report.
Next item, discussion items, discussion of investments, investment earnings as of May 31st, 2019.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Science. Today I'll be discussing with you the investment report for the investment earnings as of May 31st, 2019. I will guide you to page 4. Here we have a listing of our investment summary. As of May 31st, the district has $110,910,311 in total investments, of which $85,600,719 are in the general fund, which amounts to about 77.18%. Are there any questions?
So how much do we have in our general fund?
And the what?
I lost you.
Oh.
How much do we have in our general fund right now?
In the general fund, we have $85,600,719, which amounts to 77.18. Okay. The
Yeah.
next item, I would guide you over to page 29. I'm sorry. Page 29. On this one, I'm sorry, it's page 16. I had another different page. On this one, we had, I'm sorry, page 17, my mistake. Here we have a total investment earnings. This is how much we've earned of $1,880,872, of which $482,116, $1,441,285 are in the general fund, which amount to 76.63. That's an additional 482 compared to last year that we've earned in the general fund.
So how are we looking? Are we in compliance with the 3 months that we need?
At this point, we're fairly close on that one because our fund balance as of August 31st, 2018, we were at $73 million, and our total operating expenses about 25. We're fairly close. We're about 60. 2 months, 2.7 months.
Is this going to affect us since we're not on
It
target?
will affect us for the rating on the first if we don't stay within the 3 months operation. Are there any questions? I'm sorry about the confusion on the page. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, public comments. Do we have any public comments? Just to let you know that you'll be limited to 3 minutes to make comments to the board. We'll have somebody start the timer. We won't interrupt you, and I'll let you know when you have about 10 seconds left. I'll let you know when to. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, and Dr. Science. I hope all is well. My name is Alfredo Trujillo, La Jolla AFT President. We represent over 1,200 members in La Jolla ISD. I come to you this evening to speak on you on behalf of every teacher, librarian, counselor, nurse, and auxiliary staff that works for La Jolla ISD. We are asking you, the school board, to lead the way in pay raises. Make La Jolla ISD great. We are asking for 8% raise for all professional employees, are teachers, counselors, nurses with 5 or more years of experience. We are asking for a 6% raise for professionals with 4 years or less of service. We are asking for a $1.50 increase for all auxiliary staff across the board. We are asking that La Jolla ISD lead the way in pay raises, not just in the valley, but in the state. La Jolla ISD is the place to be. Thank you for your time, service to our community.
Thank you, Mr. Trujillo. Moving on to contracts. Under contracts, item number 1, agreement between La Jolla ISD and Rio Grande Valley Linking Economic and Academic Development, RGV LEAD, for 2019-2020 school year.
So move.
I have a motion by Ms. Ochoa, a second, Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next item under contracts, Whitenhammer Education Solutions license fee and software support. This is a financial administrative software application.
So move.
I have a motion by Ms. Ochoa,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, under contracts, action. I'm sorry, on this item, we're going to take no action and postpone it for the next meeting, actually. Item number 4, performance services contract amendment.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr.
Do we have
Salinas.
any, I'm sorry.
Second.
A second by Mr.
I have some
Cantu.
questions on
So
this.
do I. On which one?
I have a question on performance services contract amendment. Did we
Actually, I
have,
think we had a statement from, was it legal? Okay.
Madam President, board members, Dr. Sines, I don't have a presentation prepared, but I am prepared to answer questions that anyone may have.
Sir, I was looking through your report that we received, and I just want to commend you because the agenda item was to move for Phase 2 to approve Guarantee Energy Savings Performance Contract. And I noticed that on your abstract that you provided for us, which we did receive late in the evening, I wasn't able to go through everything simply because we haven't had a work session yet over all of this. But I do want to commend you for stating that there's certain items that no energy savings take place. For UCRM2, you did talk a little bit about solar PV array that you would have to work with the kilowatts. UCRM 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, stating there's no energy savings. And so I had questions as to why were these things placed in a bundle for an energy service agreement?
Some of the items, and great question, by the way, some of the items provide operational saving, which we can use, such as the turf fields, less watering, less mowing, less maintenance. Some of the other items we included in there as avoided capital, but we can put those into a job order contract, so the same goals could be accomplished.
Dr. Sines, I really feel that we really need a work session on this, and so I'm recommending that we postpone this. I know that there was a motion to approve, but in the situation that we're in, and I would like to see some things discussed and mediate and come to some type of agreement where we can go happy medium and see which are needs and which are our wants. I did see that a lot of these things are great for our district, but just based on our financial situation that we are, we need to be conservative and take each item as needed. I'm not saying no, but I would like to have more conversations on this and see how we can best meet the needs of our district and being most conservative as we can and not placing our district in a financial situation for years to come.
If I may, with this project that we identified, we also secured a phenomenal financing package for the district as well. So I just heard Mr. Trevino state that you guys need 3 months of operating cost. You're at 2.7 months. Well, with this project, we're not asking the district to contribute any capital. And the fact of the matter is that we were able to secure funding, which would give La Jolla ISD 3 years of deferred payments, even capitalized interest. So the district would not be out a single dime for any of the items that are part of this project, nothing up front. That would allow you to make these changes that are being made on a monthly basis or annual basis, as we, in the current situation. But instead of paying out of pocket from your general fund, you can pocket that money.
You see, and that's where I don't understand, because on the budget source, I'm looking at, it states lease purchase agreement general fund, and I'm looking and, it's an over $32 million bundle that I'm looking at. And so I'm needing clarification. I'm not saying no, I'm just saying let's talk a little bit more about it.
So any other questions?
I just want to know, on the savings that we had on that phase one, up the top of your head, not this one, but the previous one, do you know what was the amount,
Most definitely.
for the savings that we had with the LED project at the time, the phase one?
So the savings guarantee was just over $1 million a year.
Okay.
And that was a combination of, the funding source was a combination of utility savings and operational savings. To date, since we had substantial completion and we've been tracking the savings, just utility savings alone, the district is saving over $125,000 per month. So we are happy to say, with a big smile on our face, we're going to blow those savings out of the water. Very proud of that.
So if phase two was to be done with the HVAC and everything that's included, plus some of our elementaries, almost all our elementaries getting a track, something our parents have been asking for their kids. Can you expand a little bit on that, on the turf, or what is it that we're...
So we are looking at doing 2 turf football fields, but in addition to that, we looked at doing some projects that don't have energy savings, but there's benefits to the students. And so we included doing tracks at 23 of your elementary schools.
And not only that, we also I know that a part of the project includes revamping our communication systems, and I feel that here in La Jolla, we need to be, safety should be our priority. And I know that we have several high schools on the miles that don't have actual radio communication, and we can't afford to be reactive. We got to be proactive when it comes to student safety. And I know that the project also states that you were putting up some security fence gates, which would allow the employees to log in and out, kind of like what other charter schools have. And for me, safety has been a priority. That's why.
The safety is important, but just last year we had a vendor come in for over a little million, and this one's like over 3 million. So that's why I'm saying we can have all of this. We can have all of this, the ones that we rejected at the last board meeting. I'm just saying if we can have all of this, but like look more into be more cost savings, and at the same token,
We
still.
can be here all day and talk about cost savings, but it is what it is.
Dr. Science?
Could we, on the motion, could we add that administration be able to negotiate some of the pricing?
Most definitely.
But wouldn't that be wouldn't that be something that would have to be arranged through the bank, because it is a limited time offer? Can you expand a little bit about that on the 3 years and all that? But there's a time frame for that, am I correct? Okay, yeah, but I'm also talking about the fact that since we're talking about savings and talking about security, and at the end, our school district radius is 226 miles. For our PD to get to those schools that are out there, like Benavides and Zapata and Seguin, that's where the radios are coming in. And I understand that there's several things that are getting approved here. But we also have to look at how many money we've spent in each agenda fixing chillers and HVAC systems over and over and over. These are schools that were at the ground. We've had to build them up since we came in 2012. And I would like to also agree, and I know I can't comment, but if it's one thing that we've done here is invest in those that invest in our kids. And that's why those people are asking for good raises. And that might not have anything to do with this, but it has to do with the security of our students so that our teachers don't leave. It has to do with the security that we're going to have with the radios and communication to be out there where we need to be. So at the end of the day, I think we already spoke. Some of us had the presentation, so I'm so moving for approval.
Okay, Dr. Science, do you recommend for us to move forward on phase 2?
Well, I mean, I think that that's a decision that the board needs to make. One of the things that I can talk about is that if, for example, the district, and Mr. Salinas is right, that we do always spend money on HVAC. If we were going to do any of these projects, of course, we would have to budget very, very conservatively, and look at cost savings measures. If we were going to, so we would still need to do some of these projects, especially the HVAC.
That would fall within
But-
what she's asking with the requirement.
If
right?
we did the financing on it, we would still have to cut costs in different areas and put the payment in our budget. So either way, the district is going to have to cut costs and budget very conservatively, whether it's to make the payment, which is a deferred payment in this situation. If we were going to do these items, we would prioritize them and we would budget for whichever ones we need to do first.
So why can't
So
we have a
either
work
way-
session?
Either way, the district would need to do cost savings budget.
Because we're already doing it because every year we're losing students. So we're having to go through attrition. That's a form of cutting it. But at the end, and I agree with what Dr. Science is saying, but at the end we have campuses out there that have been there for a while, and at the end of the day, you've seen the heat. I'm not saying that it gets very cold here, but I mean, a lot of this has to do with how our kids are in our classroom, how our parents are happy about the whole situation. And I mean, just the fact that they've been asking for, I mean, and I know it can go with that, but the turfs, I mean, I'm all for that for the kids. I'm out there for the security. I'm out there for us having the better facilities we can for our kids. So, I mean, I already done my motion. I know that.
So,
up to the rest.
I did have a motion by Mr. Salinas. Yes. Very well. At this time, at 6:54, we will be going into closed session.
Before we begin, I just want to state for the record that Mr. Oscar Salinas was not here for the roll call, but he did join us for the discussion item. That's the time that he walked in.
Okay, so I guess we're coming back to number 4, Madam President.
Okay, yes, coming back to item number 4. Are we
Okay. I'll go ahead and change my motion. As I said, I'll also move on approving a new contract with Performance Services for Phase 2 project subject to superintendent's negotiating, not to include the elementary tracks, security fences, and radios. Additionally, I also move to request the superintendent to determine the best procurement option for the projects not included.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. On item number 5, financing for Phase 2 of the PSI Guaranteed Energy Savings Performance Contract Amendment Project.
Also move to approve financing as presented contingent on the inclusion of the security gates, tracks at the elementary schools and radios.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mrs. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Under Business and Finance, item number 1, application and certificate for payment of contractor's fee number 1 for La Jolla ISD Juan and Seguin Elementary Chiller Replacement Project.
Second.
I'll second, Mr. Choa.
Okay. A second, I have a motion by Ms. Ochoa, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2, application for payment of contractor's fees number 1 for La Jolla ISD Irene M. Garcia Middle School HVAC renovations project.
So move.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Ms. Ochoa, second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, under Business and Finance, application and certificate for payment of contractor's fee for the removal and replacement of the La Jolla ISD Jimmy Carter Early College High School chiller through buy board contract. I have a motion by Ms. Ochoa,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, allocation of 2020 assessments for La Jolla for La Jolla Independent School District. Motion by Ms. Ochoa,
Second.
second by Mrs. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, appointment of official delegate and alternate to the Texas Association of School Boards.
So move.
Do we need to appoint
On this one, we do need to select a delegate and an alternate.
I'd like to, I didn't even ask, but maybe, Antu, would you like to serve and represent us at TASB?
Sure.
I'll second, Ms. Ochoa.
Do we have an alternate? Okay. So we are nominating Mrs. Cantu and Ms. Ochoa as an alternate.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Salinas.
Second, I guess.
Who will make the motion? I'm sorry.
I made.
Okay, I have a
Is
motion
that-
by Ms. Ochoa and a second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Under Instruction and Student Services, item number 1, approval of La Jolla ISD Wellness Plan.
Also move.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas,
Second.
second by Mrs. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Under Human Resources, the item number 1, 2019-2020 school year staffing allocations guidelines.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Ms. Ochoa, a second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I want to call the meeting into executive session under Texas Government Codes 551071, 551072, and 551074 at 7:40. At this time, we are out of executive session, and it is 8:29.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion under letter H, personnel, items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 as discussed in executive session.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas to approve items 1 through 6,
Second.
second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And also move for adjournment.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas to adjourn the meeting. Second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries, and it is 8:29, and the meeting is adjourned.